Go, buddy. There you go. Alright guys, so I was messing with the 240 for a few hours yesterday. So the night that we brought it home, we took it out for a drive and it was breaking up really bad, it was sputtering, and Emilio told us that when he put this charge pipe on, that he put the clamps on really loose, so that was probably the issue. So then we, he had a different boot on this, so it wasn't the right size boot, so I found one that was a little better, and we put this one on, and then we took it out again, and it seemed to be running way better, and we were about to make some boost and try to do a pull, but then it started to it just completely shut off, and then it would not start again, and when it would start for a couple seconds and then just die, and we were trying to figure this thing out for the last couple days, and I think we finally just figured it out. So if you come inside real quick, this is another thing that was messing me up really bad. So whoever owned this before, he had a kill switch going to the fuel pump right here. So I had no idea what that kill switch actually did. Emilio just told me it was a kill switch, but he didn't know what it actually turned on or off. He didn't know what it killed in the car. But right now you can hear the fuel pump going. I don't think you'll hear it on camera, but when you hit the switch off, it turns the fuel pump off. So after it wasn't running again, and then I finally figured out what that was. We thought it was the TPS, and I tried a different TPS off a different S14 that Emilio had, and that didn't fix it, so we put the old TPS back on. And then when I found out that this was the fuel pump switch, what I was finding is that I would get it to run with the fuel pump off. It would just idle with the fuel pump not even on, and it would run fine, but if you try to give it any gas, it would just die. And then if you turn the fuel pump on, the air fuel would just go super rich and just kill the car, like it was getting way too much gas, and it would just die. So I was trying to figure out what the hell was wrong with it, and then I was talking to Emilio, and he was saying it was probably a vacuum leak, since I guess the MAF or the MAF sensor or whatever right here on the intake, it's really important on these cars, and they can't have any vacuum leaks on the intercooler piping or something, or else they can run like crap. So we were cleaning out the garage, and we just noticed, or at least I just noticed, that this coupler right here on the intercooler was completely blown off, so it was just hanging off. And then I just now tightened that back up, and now it finally runs with the fuel pump running again like it should. So I think it's good, and we're gonna let it warm up and go drive it around real quick and see how fast it is, because I want to make some boost. Honestly, in the motor, whatever noise is in the motor isn't really that bad right now, so I'm just gonna drive it, make boost on it. I don't really care. I mean, if we blow it up, it's whatever, we'll pull it out anyway. Yo, what the hell? Dude, this steering wheel is loose as shit. Look. Dude. Look at this plate right here. You can just hand take the Allens out.
What the heck?
That's kind of sketch. Yeah, now I can take one of those Instagram pics where I'm just mobbing out of the car with the steering wheel hanging out the window. Sick. Once we get the window to roll down, because we can't right now. Oh well, hopefully that doesn't fall off.
Yeah, I don't know. If it does, then
I'll just get them finger tight.
hopefully it goes straight still.
I'll just steer it like this. It's my first car with a quick release. Should put this in Wago. I want a wood grain in Wago.
Looks pretty nice. It's honestly a good steering wheel.
Nardy.
Nope.
We got the stripper bottle opener.
Some shit from TV.
Yep, look at that custom. Doesn't tighten. Oh. That just comes right off.
It's a quick release shift knob too, bro.
Quick release shift knob. I'm just so happy that it runs now. Holy crap. That was such a pain. Oh, dude. Oh, it's spooling now. We need some freaking sun visors though. The sun is, I can't even see right now. Dude, it actually spooled up pretty hard.
Yeah?
Like fast, too. Yeah. I think it's pretty quick.
It feels good. It feels like an MR2.
Holy shit, dude. It's fucking fast.
That's nice.
Dude. It's fucking fast. Oh, I need to plug in the radiator fan too, because I unplugged it because it was really loud. Yeah. So I could listen to the fuel pump.
It's always on all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, hold on, I'm gonna pull over and plug it in real quick. Make sure it's going the right way real quick. So Emilio said it made 380 wheel horsepower on 18 PSI, and I'm not sure what they have it set to right now for boost, because it has a manual boost controller, and he said it might be turned down to like 12, but as far as he remembers, he said it should be at full boost right now at 18 PSI. Holy shit! Dude!
Oh my god.
Dude, it just roasted the back tires.
That
This
feels
thing's-
more like that feels more than 380. Honestly, it does. Does it not? I feel like.
Nah, it's at least 300 plus, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Dude.
It lit the tires so
I
fast.
saw the gate. I wasn't watching it completely, but I saw it hit 16.
Really?
Yeah.
It's probably all the way to full 18 then.
Yeah, it
It's still
probably
the
is.
same.
Dude, it's fast. Dude, dude, you can smell the tires.
Yeah.
This is just straight drift car, dude.
Savage.
Dude,
Oh,
this
God.
thing is sick. Dude, that's so badass. I'm actually really stoked about it now. At first I was kind of bummed because I was like, dude, we just bought it and it broke and it wasn't running. Dude, look at all this smoke in here.
Yeah. Some kind of. I don't know. Yeah, the trunk's kind of foggy.
Dude, that's just straight roasting the tires.
Yeah, it is.
Dude, Emilio wasn't kidding. This thing like is actually pretty fast.
Yeah. I bet you it feels faster when it hooks.
Dude, yeah, what if we
I think
actually
it's just
what if we just go straight drag car with it? Let's put some Mickey Thompsons on her. Alright, so I don't know if the mic will pick this up, but this is the noise that we're talking about. Point on right here. Yeah, it's like it's clicking, so it's either a rod knock or it's just something in the head, because I know I've been doing some research and I found that these have a tendency to break rocker arms and other stuff like that in the head, so. Alright, so we're in the minivan right now and we're gonna try to figure out how to hook up the cutout to the existing cruise control switches right here. So this was the accelerate and decelerate when you have the cruise control set, but we don't have any of that anymore. So we're gonna try to take this apart and see if we can somehow rig our switch to these buttons right here, because that would be really sweet to do. I saw some of you guys in the comments saying we should do that, and it was a really good idea. So I think we're gonna try it. Hopefully the switches are, you know, pretty simple, and maybe there's like a wiring harness under there or something, because the switch is a really simple way how it works. So I already went ahead and cut off the old one because I've come to the conclusion that even if this doesn't work, I still want to get rid of this switch because I really don't like it. But the only way this works, or how this works, is it's really easy. Is it already has power and ground elsewhere, and it comes into like this little control box right here for the cutout. And I don't know if you'll be able to hear it. I'll just start the van real quick, hold on. So what I'll do is when I start the van, all you have to do to make it go either way is either touch this white wire to this black wire right here. You can just hear the relay click on right there for it, or touch the red wire to the black wire, and that's how the wiring works for the relay. It's that simple. So let me just show you real quick. So right now it's shut, and if I touch it this way, it opens up, and if I touch these two together, it closes. So it's a really simple process of how that works, and I think we should be able to make it work with this. So we'll see what's under here. We already went ahead and pulled this cover off. This just kind of pried off. That was right here, and there was just two screws holding this guy on, and I took one out already. We're just going to take the second one out and see what's underneath right here. Alright, so I guess it just plugs in right here, and it doesn't look like there's wires coming off the back of the plug. It's like this weird little like strip. I don't know if you can see that. It's not like wires, but it's like, I don't know what to call it. It's like that really thin.
It's like a flat wire.
Like, yeah, that flat stuff, and it's like all one piece.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I can really cut that. Let me see here. I'm gonna take this little chip off and see what's underneath these, because it's just these two buttons right here. So maybe there's something underneath that we could like solder it to make it work. It's just like a little circuit board. Hold on, let me set that down real quick. Looks like this thing fell out right here. It's like a little contact point for the switch. Yeah. It looks like there's a little spring under it, so we don't want to lose those guys. I think, see how that works. So those just push down like that. Let me see, I don't want to lose these little screws right here.
End one is like a ground, like the one that's by itself.
Yeah, well, because look, I don't know much about circuit boards, but these lines right here are separating these three sections, which is perfect because we have 3 wires. So if these switches right here I think it connects those, it just jumps these two together on each side, which is literally exactly what we need. Because if we had, I think this whole middle section right here is one connection. Can you see it pretty good on camera?
Yeah, you can see it.
Yeah, so this whole middle thing right here is one piece, and then this guy over here wraps around and goes to this guy, and then this one goes to this solder point right here. And if I'm seeing this right, if we connect that black wire to this middle section, and then the red and white wire to these two outer sections, whenever those two little prongs right here connect these guys together, that should work. Like, it's literally straightforward. I think that should work like yeah.
I don't know.
So I think here's what I'm going to try to do. Okay, so this guy looks like it wraps around. Since these two are the same, I'm going to just put this all back together, and then I'm just going to shove those 3 wires in right here so let's see, the black one would need to go to either one of these 2 points, since I don't know why there's 2 points for that one, but those are the same. So I'll do the black one at this bottom one, and then the red and white on these 2, because that one goes around to that guy, and then this one goes there, and
or vice versa.
Yeah. So I think, yeah, if I switch the red and white around, and this does work, the only thing that's going to change is which one makes it open and close. So if I want the top one to be open, I just have to rewire it instead of the top one being closed. But the black one needs to be that bottom one right there, because that's what both wires need to touch that one to work. So, I mean, I'm really bad at explaining this, but it kind of makes sense in my head.
I don't know.
So hold on, yeah, I'm just gonna put this one back together real quick, and yeah, let's just see if that works. I'll just shove the wires in there, and I honestly think that'll work.
It should. I mean, it looks like it does. It's pretty simple and straightforward.
You can see where it scratches right here, so it just connects these 2 sides of the chip together.
Yeah, and like where it cuts off, it like kind of just like,
yeah, because it like
guides it.
Yeah, see how this one's shorter right here?
Yeah.
So like this button slides the thing forward, so it just combines these 2 sections together, which is literally exactly like what we would need. Like, this would work perfect. So let me put this back together real quick. Okay, so I put the little circuit board back together, and I just have the 3 wires that came with the cutout just shoved into those pins, so I have them marked where they need to go. These 2 right here on the outside, those are that same middle one, so I think this black wire can go on either of those. So I'm just going to put it on this closer one, and then the red and white are on the other 2. And I think that's literally all we should need, because if these buttons connect them together like it looks like it should, then it should work. So we're going to try it real quick. Dude, I can hear the relay going. The relay's going, dude.
Click it again.
Listen, ready? Then off.
Oh,
dude.
No way.
Hold on, let me start
Wait,
it.
does it work like opening and closing it right? It
Yeah,
still works?
well, I don't know. Let me start it real quick.
Alright.
So right now it's open. Oh, dude. No way.
What?
Dude, that's sick.
What?
Dude, that's gonna be so bad. That's gonna be so much better than having the freaking switch.
Dude, it's like so disguised. You're never gonna touch those buttons ever.
No one's ever gonna know what that's for.
No.
Dude, that's crazy. Okay, so yeah, that's gonna work.
Yeah.
Now we just have to figure out how to hook up the wires to it. Dude, that's badass.
That is sick. Just over those.
Yeah, I think
buttons.
I want to make the decel the quiet, and then the accel. You know, obviously to accelerate, you have to open her up.
Go fast button.
Yep, the accelerate button. Dude.
That's so cool.
All right, yeah, let's figure out how to make this actually work and be mounted up. Okay, so we ran into a slight issue because we really don't know how we're gonna run this just yet. So what we were planning on doing is I was gonna take this circuit board back off and just take this plug off, like desolder it, and then just solder in the new wires straight into the circuit board, and that would work fine, but it would be an issue whenever we go to turn, because then it would just start to wrap the wire up, because we were just gonna try to make the wire, you know, like drill a hole back through here and just run it all discreetly through here and cover it up with the plastics. But when you go to turn, that's gonna wrap that wire up, and I really don't want to have to mess with that. Like, I mean, technically we could like wind some wire up so it like wraps in there, but I mean that's ghetto. Yeah, that's ghetto as hell. So we're gonna have to figure out another way to do it. I think what we're gonna have to do is figure out where, because we can see where the pins go for this, because it's just the same pin. So if we can find where these 3 wires on that like flat little strip go through, like down here under the dash, then we'll be able to just cut it off down here. Hopefully they go to some real wires down here, and then we can just like solder them down here instead, so then we don't have to deal with any of this, and then we can actually just leave this back right where that was. So I think what we're gonna try to do right now is find out where these 3 wires go, or these 3 pins, because they go somewhere. They have to come out somewhere on this harness or something like that. So we're gonna figure out where those go real quick, and then yeah, I guess we'll go from there. So that's the only option I think we have right now, because we can't run a wire or else it's just gonna wind up. So we need to find where those go. All right guys, so I think this is gonna work. So we found out where those pins go. So this is the type of stuff we were talking about. It's like this flat, weird, not really a wire, but there's 3 pins on this, and we realized it was probably this because there's the 3 pins that come off this go to a flat one, and then there's also another flat one with 3 pins, and this one has 6, so it makes sense that those both combine into this one, because this is a white, like, weird thing, just like how these are under there. So long story short, we took out the little voltmeter and did a continuity test and just touched the wires together to make sure that they go to the same place, and they do. So we have it marked right here. These 3 lines I drew for these 3 bottom pins are the 3 bottom ones on this plug right here. So another bit of good news is that this plug right here plugs into, where is it? This guy right here. So this had some like yellow protective stuff on it. I took all that off, and this is actually wires. So this goes right into that, and that means we're gonna be able just to cut these wires off right here that we need. I believe it's, which ones will it be? Oh, it'll be these last 3 right here. Just cut those off, and then we can just either butt connect or solder them into these 3 wires right here. We just have to make sure we get the black and, or just the colors where they need to go, and it'll be set. Like, it should be that straightforward. So I think we're just gonna start doing that. I think I'm just gonna butt connect them, honestly. I think that should be fine. Yeah. I don't need to go through the hassle of soldering.
Nobody's gonna look under the dash anyway.
Yeah, in the worst case scenario, my cutout stops working, guys. Like, it's not a big deal. So yeah, I'm gonna get these cut real quick and then wire these in there, and I think it should be good. Go, man. So. Yeah, like, dude, that's gonna be so sick.
It's pretty straightforward.
That's honestly gonna be really badass, honestly.
Yeah, well.
Like, I was a little skeptical trying this, but I think it's gonna work, guys. So yeah, I'm gonna get some butt connectors real quick and get her all crimped in. So accelerate should be open. It's closed right now. Oh shit, dude.
Savage.
Dude.
Sleeper mode.
That's so sick.
Welcome to Van Alstine.
Smells so much good, guys. Yeah, smells so nice in here now. Dude, I remember when we first picked this thing up, I said we were probably gonna have to replace the carpet because it was so disgusting, and it's actually cleaning up pretty good. Jeremy's doing work. Now you guys can stop complaining that the minivan is dirty. Look at this thing. Nice and clean in here. He hasn't even done the front ones yet. It's looking good.
It smells way better.
Yeah, it smells like a new car now. I'm gonna show how nasty that water is.
Dude, it's freaking disgusting. Look at that. It's like
Dude, it's
mud. Like when you pour it out, it's just like mud. There's like straight.
That's like
dirt.
dark chocolate milk, bro. That's disgusting.
I dare you to drink it.
Hell no.
It's so gross.
Ew. Dude.
It's just like straight 10 years of coffee.
So nasty. So we got the cutout rewired on the minivan, going to the 2 buttons on the cruise control, which is really nice. Now I don't have to reach over and mess with the switch. It's right there on the steering wheel. So that's really nice, and you'll never be able to tell it even had a cutout. That's like probably one of the most sleeper switches for a cutout I've ever seen. So that's really awesome. Glad that worked out. The minivan is also really clean in there. Jeremy got it nice and steam clean, got all the rugs cleaned in there, and the carpet actually looks really nice. We got it cleaned up pretty good in there. So the minivan's coming along, and that's where we got on that thing for today. And when we got back in the 240, the noise was getting pretty bad. So we're probably gonna leave it right here for now, and we're gonna have to just pull the motor and probably go through it and see what's wrong. Like I said, there is a chance it's just something in the head, but since we don't know and I want to learn more about these cars, we're just going to go ahead and pull the whole motor out, and then that'll give us a chance to clean up the engine bay and then go from all the way through the motor and make sure it's completely good from top to bottom. And then we're not looking for a problem if we just pull the head and then nothing's wrong with the head, then we're just going to be chasing problems forever. So we're just going to pull the motor right out and get the engine bay cleaned up on this thing. Not sure when we're going to be doing that. We still have a lot to do. I'm really trying to get some stuff on the way for the MR2 here pretty soon. I want to start doing that because, as you guys know, right now it's a stock motor, makes 450 horsepower, and I want to pull the motor back out. We have the CSS block for it still. I want to start ordering parts for that and get the bottom end put together for the MR2 and make a lot more power than that. So yeah, we have a lot of projects. Jeremy's been messing with his head the last couple days. We might talk about that later, but that's for his B series on the EK. So we're going to be pulling that motor out as well and building that one. So we got a lot going on. So we're definitely going to stay busy. And yeah, it's going to be it for tonight though. Hope you guys enjoyed, and thanks for watching.